All right, Amanda, we're moving into the second phase of module 2, which is do the new. Do the new. So these are the strategies and the actions and the initial baby steps we're going to take toward becoming better at this, knowing our clients, getting involved in their lives, helping us understand and have an emotional connection with them so they're magnetized to us.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, let's move on to the do of this module 2. The do of module 2. Okay, I'll stop.
Okay, so now it is your turn, wonderful shortcut members, to get on the table. What is that old thought you've had about your service, and especially about your clients? What are they not doing enough? Or, just get out whatever needs to be out on the table and write it on down, and then replace it with the new. What are you now going to feel about your clients and your relationship to them?
Yeah, let's get some of that old mind trash out on the table, shine a light on the shadow that is this either victim mentality or not taking responsibility, or just the naivete of not realizing, oh, wow, I sound like every other whatever it is that you are or do. If you're saying the same thing that everyone else is, that's a really big red flag. So you're going to write down at least one old piece of mind trash, one old mindset, and you're going to write down what you're going to replace that with. How do I want to look at this? How can I take responsibility for what's going on in my client's world? And if you're not connecting with them emotionally, where do I need to put myself? How do I embody their pain? How do I feel their pain? Put myself in their shoes so that they understand and that we resonate with each other.
Yeah, that's so beautiful. Just as you're saying this, I remember the last time I did this for myself, I was writing about my speaker clients, and I was writing out, what would they really want if they could just have it all their way? And one thing that came out is they would just want people to book gigs for them. So guess what I added into my service? I started booking gigs for people, and it opened up a whole new level of interest, and people were talking about me differently and looking at me differently. And it was a great little concept that I found just from getting into their shoes, as we've been talking about.
Wow. So you just intuited what they wanted, and added a really valuable service that you probably charge quite a premium for.
I sure do. Yeah, and they don't mind paying it because it's a really big pain for them. They want that. So the big overarching theme here, especially if you're on the fast track right now, is research your clients. Please research what they are feeling and thinking inside and get in their world.
So Amanda, I know my clients, they want to buy a house, and they're probably 20 to 70 years old. They make money. So right. I already know this. I already know this part.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that, Jeff. Now, if that was all that I knew about you, would you feel known?
Ooh, would I feel known? No. If you grouped me into 20 to 70-year-olds who make money, had no idea what I did as a job, what my family life was like, what my wants and desires in life are, no, I wouldn't feel connected with that. You're right.
And even your voice is like, honestly, I would feel completely disrespected and I would hate you.
Wow, that's intense.
Well, I mean, you're like, that is not all there is to know about me. I mean, just my age, my income, that I want to buy a house, that's not enough.
Yeah, so what you're saying, I hear, is it's very dismissive, and it's probably going to put a lot of people off, that it feels lazy, right? It feels like you're not even trying. You're not even trying to understand who I am.
That's right. So I have, over the years, created a bunch of questions, and we've made up this worksheet here for you. So let me pop over to the worksheet real quick. about understanding a few key pieces of who you serve. And this is going to go much deeper than the typical just demographics. So in order to get their world, we want to describe them. Who is your target audience? And then we want to get to their top 3 pains and their top 3 desires. And then the big one is the top 2, at least 2, human needs that your service fulfills. Those top 4 are kind of what we're going for. And the rest of the worksheet is to help you get there. So for example, you might ask yourself, who are my clients? Out of all the people that need this product, some are actively wanting it. They're already in a little discomfort. They're already open to a way out of the pain into more pleasure. So for example, I think my mom needs a great, huge, big dose of spirituality in her life. Come on, Mom, get on board. What's the deal? But she is in zero pain about that. She's living her life, happy camper. She doesn't care about all that stuff. So she's not a target market for somebody who's teaching spirituality. She's fine. So who's in a little more discomfort about that? Who is, reading the books and, deciding whether they want to go to church and what church do they want to go to? And those people are open to some spiritual concepts.
When I hear that, I hear who's in pain right now? What are they reading? Where are they looking for help?
Mm-hmm.
Who are they asking for help?
Yes.
So that's when you can name specific books. Maybe you're on Facebook, you're doing Facebook ads. Maybe you're doing YouTube videos with particular tags. And this is a great worksheet for those of you, again, like Amanda said, that are on the fast track and feel that you want to take a little bit of time to dive into this right now.
Those are your top concerns, 1 through 4. Make sure you know what those are. And the rest of the worksheet is going to just take you deeper and deeper into more and more of what they're thinking and feeling over there, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for instance, if you're not sure how to identify your target audience, you're going to go into our deep dive here.
Yes. We're going to continue to just dive deeper and deeper into your clients here as we go. Now, talking about the problem you solve is always an issue that needs some extra attention. So, Jeff, tell us what you've learned about this process. That there's 3 primary goals, there's 6 human needs, people have different kinds of problems. What have you seen working here?
We don't want to reinvent the wheel if we don't have to. And the 3 big needs, the 3 big wants are around health, wealth, and relationships. Mm-hmm. Wealth obviously has to do with business. It can niche down within business, marketing, sales, social media, influence. And relationships can be relationships with family members, friends, social networking, and also, of course, more intimate personal relationships.
And health can be whole personal training industry, and it can also kind of fall into like time management might fall into health, where it's like your healthy systems. And health can also be mental health.
And then the 6 human needs, and I'll bring up a screen share here. The 6 human needs are these listed here. These were coined by Tony Robbins. They are, as you see, certainty, variety, significance, love, and connection. Those first 4 are the needs of the body or of the personality. The last 2, growth and contribution, are needs of the spirit. Humans will fulfill these needs in any way that they can. No one will ignore any one of these 6. They will get it in some way, whether it's negative or positive. When we seek things out, it's fulfilling at least one of these needs. Otherwise, as humans, we wouldn't be seeking it out. We wouldn't want that thing.
I have to jump in here because this was my negative way to fulfill this need. And I have a couple friends who are still feeling this need of contribution by like drive-by coaching.
Yeah.
If someone's having an issue.
That's a really good one.
Right? Isn't that a good one?
Yeah.
Instead of listening and being there for them and, showing some empathy and maybe telling a story, you just jump in there and you're like, oh, I have your whole plan for your next 6 months in my head. We just need a partner and I can be your accountability buddy. And you're like so into it.
And they're giving a lot of unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great example of a negative way to fill human needs. The connection, definitely feeling connected with that person. If, oh, I feel that emotion of yours. And if you're trying to give contribution to the other person, but if it's not asked for, it's not going to come across well. A negative way to fulfill these needs is smoking. So you might smoke because it's a social thing. You might smoke because you're certain that's going to give you a certain feeling. It's going to, relax you if that is the certain thing that you can go to. You may feel significant. Some people feel more important when they're doing something like that, right? Now, it's not going to fulfill growth or contribution, but it does strongly fulfill the others. And of course, smoking is chemically addictive too. Yeah. So a positive way to get these needs met. Some examples that are free in our lives are we could take a walk out in nature. We're certain we can go walk outside. It's going to give us the variety of nature and animals and the weather. We're going to get connection with nature. There's definitely feelings of vibration. Now in our business, we want to make sure we understand what human needs we are fulfilling so that we can translate that with potential clients. For instance, in my business, I work with boys and young men with anxiety, ADD, round peg in a square hole. They're having trouble at home, trouble at school. So they're really feeling uncertain about themselves. So they want more certainty in their confidence. They want to understand themselves. They want to feel significant with their friends and at school. They want to feel that they're accomplished to feel significant. A lot of times their teachers are putting across that they're not being successful. So the child has a lack of sense of contribution to what they're doing. They're certainly not feeling growth. They're not growing if they're not succeeding within their family or at school. And at home, they want to feel connection and love. So what I do, depending on the client, depending on the situation, certainly hits more than one of these human needs. And therefore, it's very wanted. Amanda, how about yourself?
My clients are speakers who have a huge contribution to give. And so they definitely have that contribution need is flaring. I mean, it is like buzzing red. And they need, another big need for them is they need a lot more certainty that they're going to be able to deliver their transformation and that they're going to be able to get paid themselves. So those are my two big ones. Significance and connection are in there, growth is in there, but I like to concentrate on those two big ones. And that seems to do really well for me. Now, I will say that that's what I concentrate on in my marketing. When I get deeper into the relationship with them, I really want to make sure and pull out all of them, everything that they're needing, as I get to know them individually. There's a difference there of like the group as a whole versus when I'm one-on-one with someone, I'm just there for them.
An excellent point. When we're speaking to a group, we want to pick one, maybe two of those needs to translate so that it doesn't feel too diluted. We want to speak to a particular demographic in the audience, to a particular pain, particular want. So that's an excellent point. Excellent point.
Learning about these human needs gave me some insight to an Allstate commercial that was on a few years ago. They did a whole campaign around Allstate being the vehicle which allows you to do something else. So Allstate insurance is typically only selling certainty. And I think that's a mistake that insurance companies have made for a long time, is they just talk about certainty and it falls flat.
Yeah.
You might even have the association of insurance is boring. I've heard that from insurance agents. Well, it's kind of boring. So Allstate did this cool thing where they tied it to you are going to be able to better do your dreams, invest in your business, invest in your home, go on a trip, because you have us as your certainty. But they tied it to adventure and growth and significance and contribution. Helping your daughter with her wedding was one.
Yeah.
So now they're into connection. Now they're fulfilling more than one need. And it just is like such a more rich, full, emotional picture now, because they're out of that boring box.
Yeah.
Certainty.
Yeah. You don't want to be in the boring box. That's a bad place to be. Yeah.
No, certainty allows you to do a lot of other things, including uncertainty and including fun and adventure and love and connection and growth. So that was genius by them. What else do we need to know here as we go to do the doing part of knowing our clients?
One thing I like to advise businesses that I'm working with is, first of all, do we know our target demographic? Do you know your ideal client? Can you explain who they are, where they hang out, what their pains and wants are? And once you can do that, I ask, who do you know that is within that demographic? Now, not to try to sell them necessarily. The first step is to bring our service why to them. Bring them our mission and our vision and our why, and let them know, tell them what it is, and get their reaction. If you're in the boring box, you're going to have a blank stare face response, right? So this face is not what you're hoping to see.
Right.
Like, if they're waiting, if they're just waiting, like you feel like they want more, and you're done with your presentation, if you're done with the few sentences describing what you do, that's not a good sign. It wasn't impactful. It didn't hit them in their heartstrings. Somehow it either didn't address their pain or their wants, or it didn't translate to them.
A couple other reactions you might see if people aren't quite feeling it are like, they'll be like, hey, good for you. That's good for you over there. You are great. They like you. And that's nice.
Yeah.
But we want them to say, if they're really your target market, they should be saying, I'm kind of interested in that. There should be something happening for them that's not for you. And another one I hear a lot when I haven't quite hit the mark is like, that's a really good idea. You're here with them. You got some way, but you haven't gotten here.
Excellent point. That's phenomenal. I haven't heard that tip anywhere else, Amanda. That's really insightful. Like, that's a good idea. I'm still in my head, but it didn't really hit me in the heart or the soul.
Yeah, you should be hearing grunting caveman language like, ooh, or huh, or like, wow, something that shows you reach their heart.
Yeah, I love it. That's a fantastic tip.
Thank you.
Excellent. So to piggyback on that, again, we're not looking to sell anything to these particular people that we know in our target demographic. We're looking to spread our mission. And if our mission is compassionate, if it lands, if it's something that they strongly believe in, that's a really great sign that we're on to something here. That's the very first step. And then you can ask, or maybe they'll even offer, hey, I go to this mom's group and they'd love to hear this message. I know someone exactly that needs that kind of help. It's about attracting them to us. And we can ask affiliations, clubs that they're a part of that have more of the same type of person as they are. Yeah. We've uncovered that they're our target demographic. And so we're proposing our mission to them, and hopefully it gets them excited. And then we want to meet more people like them.
Yes. That's the kind of response you should get. Oh, I know someone. I have a group you should go to. Oh my gosh, that's so me. Oh my gosh, that was so me. Oh my gosh, that's so my sister. Like, they should have this aha experience just for them. And, if they don't, I don't want you to freak out if they don't, because if they don't, probably it could be the next things out of their mouth is going to be what helps you get to it. So if you go and say, I do cupping therapy. Let's go with our cupping therapy example. Hey, I do cupping therapy and it helps with muscles and joints. That's your best guess, right?
Sure.
So they might say, oh, does that help with back pain? Ding! Like they did some work for you. Like, oh yeah, say back pain next time, or say something that's a little more in their world. They're going to give you a hint, even if you miss the mark. So it's a really great exercise no matter what.
To sum up, when you go talk about your mission and your passion and what you're doing, your service why, is you want to have a short, concrete, powerful way to describe your target demographic, right? You don't want it to be general. You want it to be specific, concrete, powerful. For instance, I'm looking for athletes that are having low back pain or foot pain, that it's important to them because they want to go run a 5K, they want to run a marathon, they want to get back into the gym. So athletes with particular pain that are active right now and it's keeping them from their lifestyle. That's a concrete example.
Yeah, and immediately when you say that, I'm like, marathon. Who have I heard talking about a marathon lately? Okay, like I can picture people. That's really good. So Jeff, you have a really good example of this with your boys age 5 to 25. So tell us about that, because, I mean, does that limit you? Why did you pick 5 to 25? What's the story behind that?
Thank you. I chose 5 to 25 to target the boys and young men that really resonate with me and I resonate with them. I have a son who's 13 who's gone through some issues with school and acceptance and his own trouble being around peg in a square hole. So that really resonates with me. And I did have that fear of, if I choose a particular target demographic, that I might be losing out on others. And that's actually been the farthest thing from the truth. Speaking to 5 to 25-year-olds or parents of really helps those parents or that young man understand that I'm speaking directly with him. It's actually counterintuitive that when we niche down, it draws more people to us because they feel more understood and met, and that we understand and are speaking their language. Whereas if we go too broad, no one feels a real connection to us. It's counterintuitive. To that point, it's also very valuable to know where our boundaries are with our clientele as well. We want to know when someone comes to us if we are best suited to serve them, and if we're not, we're going to have great referral partners that we can send them to.
Yes, awesome. All right, so module 2, you are rocking it out. Great job. Really appreciate you, watching these videos in earnest and then taking what you've learned and going for it with your workbook. Really write these down. This is all building to more and better marketing language, more and better relationships out there, and definitely moving those clients across the finish line into your practice. But this is the work of it right here. So when you do this work on your own, then we can come back together at the sessions every couple of weeks and you can finish it off. I mean, double check it with us, bounce it off us. You don't have to get it perfect outside of our classroom that we've created here on your own.
We are going to have the Q&As, so save your questions. If you feel really stuck on a particular one, go ahead and just move on to the next one. Maybe the next time you take a walk, you'll think about that question that you were stuck on, or next time you meditate or exercise, or ask yourself the question right before bedtime, and maybe source or where you draw from your unconscious will give you an answer. And we really encourage you, even if you've done these particular questions before, try to look at it in a different way. Put yourself in the shoes of maybe a client that you really enjoy serving who isn't a normal client of yours. So how would this particular person who works in this industry feel when I say this message? Just realize, if you feel that resistance of, I've done this before, maybe look at it a different way, or ask yourself the question on a walk.
That is so true. This is not one of those things you just do once. You really want to do this anytime you have some new event, anytime you have some new product. And, you don't have to redesign your whole business every time you get new insight. If you get a new insight that's really great, like, oh my gosh, I just realized my clients want me to book speaking gigs for them. I could have just as easily run a campaign for 3 months or 1 month, whatever I want, gathered up that side of things, and then gone back to my typical marketing message. So just constantly do this. I really believe the more you can do this, the more you're going to know your clients and connect with them.
Yeah, Amanda, that's a great tip for someone that's been in business for a little while, is if you want to test out a particular marketing message to a certain piece of your demographic, of your niche, you can give that a shot. You can use that verbiage for a month or 2 months and see how that goes. Absolutely.
Yep. Awesome. And don't forget to check out the resources page. I know there's some books and TED Talks on this, really great ones. And also don't forget to call on us. Your coach is here. If you're stuck on this, please don't stay stuck too long. This is a huge one. We can give you immediate breakthroughs. Sometimes it's so difficult to see for yourself. Even if you have a brilliant marketing mind like we all do, it is really tough to see some of this stuff for yourself. So please reach out and get the support that you've already invested in and that is right here waiting for you.
If you're not having the success that you want, if you're passionate about your why and you have a great strategy, maybe there's something holding you back that you're not aware of. We don't know what we don't know. So reach out to us, ask the questions in the Q&As, post on the forum. We're here to help you.
Awesome. Go Module 2. Woohoo! Module 2.
I should dab. If my 13-year-old saw me, he's like, no, don't dab.
This is a dab? Wow, I had no, wow.
It's like you're gonna sneeze into your arm and you do like almost a Heisman, but it's like you're sneezing and you're pointing.
Why is it called a dab?
Ask middle school kids. I have no idea. And it's not like a Colorado dab or anything like that. Yeah, I gotta sneeze. Patria.
Wow. You learn something new every day.
For those non-parents out there, you're welcome.
You just got 3 notches cooler.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pop culture for the win.
You should totally do a bloopers reel at the end of everything. At the end of each one.
I will, Amanda. Yeah, you know it. Brought to you by the Shortcut CBC.
Oh my gosh.
That's what my son looks like when I do it. That was a good example of what my son... See? Yeah. Now you know what it feels like to be a 13-year-old boy, man.
Wow, Dad. Wow. I am never teaching you any cool 13-year-old stuff again. You're cut off.
This is a giant microphone. If I was up on stage with this thing, I don't know. I feel a little inferior, maybe. Oh my gosh, it's so big.
I think that's why you like showing it off.
Did you know that it's black?
Can I see your microphone again, Jeff?
I don't know what this is, but
look at my rinky-dink little microphone. Wah, wah. Oh.
Nice. Beautiful.